If you're interested in making the skirt, I have the link down below for the pattern. Okay, you're going to grab your main piece. Make sure that your interfacing is already ironed on and it's 1/4 of an inch away from the top. You're going to flip it over, and then we're going to grab our first piece, which is your pocket piece. Now you're going to align it right sides together, and for the purpose of the video, I am speeding it up. You're just going to pin it. You're going to do it the same for both sides. Okay, so now you're just going to sew 1/4 of an inch away on both sides, and then we'll go to the next step. So now you're just going to clip your corners. I clip all the way down. I seem to get a crisper edge that way, so you're going to want to do that for both sides. And then when you're done, you're going to want to iron it. So I flip mine over and kind of finger press it to where it lays flat, and then I go to my iron and I press them down on both sides. Okay, so now that you have pressed your seams nice and flat, you're going to make sure that you're always going to want to push one of the pockets away so you don't get it caught when you're sewing. And you're going to sew 1/8 of an inch away from the edge. You're going to do that to both sides. So now I'm just going to flip the pocket over. Make sure it lines up really nice to the edge, and then I'm just going to start pinning the bottom of just the pocket piece. And then we're going to serge it. Or you can use a straight stitch if you don't have a serger. You're going to do 1/4 of an inch away from the very bottom. Okay, so when I'm pinning it, I want to make sure that I'm only pinning the pocket and you're not pinning the front side of the skirt. So I like to put pins at the very top just to keep everything nice and straight. And then I'm just going to serge the pocket closed on both sides. Okay, so what I'm doing here is I'm just grabbing my eye needle and I go right behind some of the stitches to hide the strings. It helps it from fraying later on, and it makes it look a lot cleaner. So that's what I'm doing on both of the pocket pieces. Okay, so now that we've flipped it over, we're going to align the edges together and just pin down the sides. And then a little trick that I did with this skirt is when I went to the other side, I kind of folded it back a little and aligned it to the edge. Kind of helps get the skirt out of the way when you go to sew it. So then we're going to sew 1/2 an inch all the way down. Okay, so now I'm going to serge all the way down on both sides just to finish the edges, and it also keeps it from fraying. And then the next step after that is you're going to serge around the whole top part of the skirt, and you're going to do the exact same thing for the bottom of the skirt as well. Okay, so now I sped this little section up. I like to start with the skirt bottom first, so I'm hemming it up. The pattern calls for 5/8 of an inch. I'm doing it a little bit bigger just because I wanted to shorten up the skirt just a tad bit. I was making this for a friend of mine. So I make sure that it's equal all the way around. And then for the top, it calls for 1 inch for the casing of the elastic. I do the exact same that I did for the bottom, but also I was modifying the skirt just a little bit. Magic, everything is pinned. Now you're going to sew 1/8 of an inch away from the serged edge. On the top I leave a little gap so you can insert your elastic for the casing of the waistband, and at the bottom I do the exact same thing, 1/8 of an inch away. I'm so sorry I forgot to record the part where I was putting in the elastic. If you liked this video, please hit the like button, and if you're not subscribed already, please subscribe. Thanks for watching.